this is what frustrates me the most. A company that has good development experience, it means that they also have a budget for people to learn new things. And conferences are doing that kind of thing. They provide training to people. You might hear 10 things in a conference. You're going to go and do them at work. You're going to be a new person. Show me the skills in terms of like, okay, you want to be a speaker in a conference, but you don't have any experience. And it might be hard to get invited in a conference. So a meetup it's a way you can start, you can practice. Even if you have like a brand new talk, you can do it in front of like a small audience and see how it went, and then you can change it. So when you go to a conference, you can practice better, and then be much more ready. What we do, because it's not about the money, it's about the community, and CityJS is a community conference. We organize the meetup. So also one thing is, let's say you come from Barcelona to London. You don't have anything to do that day. You're just on your own. You manage to get money from your company to attend the conference in London or in Athens. But you're there on your own. You don't know anyone. So you can, the conference can create some events before the conference, so you can meet other people and hang out while you are waiting to go to the conference. This is the whole idea. It's not anymore a language. It's like a big ecosystem that has a CI, it's backend. You can build applications for mobile phones, and this is where it becomes like an issue with a conference. You can have a conference that is just React, and it's easy because it's just React. But when you do a conference and it's JavaScript, you have so many things to choose from, and you don't want to leave things behind. So you have to make everyone happy because JavaScript is huge now. It's not a small kind of thing. When something goes wrong, you could contact them, maybe. But imagine me contacting them if I don't know them and I haven't seen them in person. Then contacting them after I have seen them once and they know who I am and what do I look like. So the conferences break the barriers in terms of meeting people, but you might not go directly to them.
So today's guest is Aris, the founder and lead organizers of CityJS, one of the fastest growing community-driven JavaScript conferences in the world. So what started as a meetup in London is now like a global circuit with editions in Athens, Berlin, Sao Paulo, Singapore, and beyond. Aris has been the driving force behind that growth. He's also a tech lead, a visiting lecturer, and longtime full-stack engineer. But today we're digging in what it takes to build not just products, but a global developer community. Welcome, Aris. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me here. So how do you pronounce your name then? Nechu? How do you say your name then?
So it's Nechu.
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 Yes, Nechu.
Nechu. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have the chi in Greek?
Yes, we have that. When you combine T and S, you go Nechu. Okay, that's cool to know. So yeah, I remember like now that we have been playing basketball during the conference in Athens. So it was great to combine not just conference or JavaScript, but also other stuff that we like beyond, which was great. So yeah, that was a very good memory of you and me doing conferences. So yes, thank you for having me.
And I still have the
here.
video of me making the shot.
Oh yeah, that was a good hook and a good move. So yeah.
So tell me, Aris, how did your journey into programming begin?
That was quite a long time ago. I was basically, and like we said before, the main kind of thing it was like playing basketball. The weather, like in Greece, is so
Mm-hmm.
nice, so you're always outside with a ball. And until I go to university, I haven't got a computer. My parents haven't got us a computer, so I haven't really touched anything. I didn't pass to the Greek university, so we had to do like a year where we were preparing for the UK universities. And during that time, we have been learning how to code Pascal. It's very, very old.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the kind of, because I do like basketball a lot. I like the programming. It reflects a bit to it, where you have to play with. Also, I like mathematics. So it's very fast paced.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also, you have to make quite quick decisions. Very, very, it can be stressful, but it can be very exciting because the end result is also amazing. Sometimes you come up with things that you don't really, in the beginning you think, can I do this? I don't think I can do this, but then in the end you come up with things and you think, okay, yes, now I can do this. So it's the same thing, like, this player is really good, but I cannot win this player because he's gonna, but then during the game you find the ways to be a better player than the other players. So it's very competitive in a nice way. It's not a competitive for, oh, look at me, I'm so good and all that. No, no. It's more competing you and the machine, but also you have a lot of different players, designers, so many different people that you meet. And yeah, I do. That's how it started basically. And then I did a bit more engineering, but always I like to be coding, like that kind of digital world. It's really, it really got me. Yeah.
That's very nice. And what about your first job as a programmer? What it was? How did it go?
The first job was a programmer. So it wasn't really direct a job itself. So I was here in UK, the first job in London. There was a company that were transferring printers around UK, and I was the person doing the management. So I was like, okay, we're gonna install a
Mm-hmm.
printer here. We're gonna install a printer in Aberdeen. We're gonna install a printer in Inverness. And a guy came to me and said, I have this really good idea. How would it be nice if we were able to print a page remotely on a printer? So basically, I said, okay, while I'm setting up the printers and setting up the printers around UK where, the van is going to pass through, because that was my job to say that, okay, today you're going to go to this city, to another city, to another city, to another city. While you're going to go through those cities,
Mm-hmm.
me, I had time to just code. I was testing, trying to print. So basically, opening Adobe and grabbing something from the spooler and printing it to my company's printer. So I found an API that was able to do that. I've used it, and at some point, I managed to print it. So then, what I did, they gave me all the IP address of all the printers around UK. So I started printing
Okay.
remotely to all these printers. So I managed to create like a GUI and everything, the printer. And then one day I performed my big test. I printed in a shop somewhere in the north UK. And I called the people on that store and I said, hi, yes, hi. I would like to ask you, I've sent you like a poster. The lady said, we haven't received anything from the postman. No, no, I didn't send it through the postman. I've sent it through your printer. Can you check your printer if what I've just printed from London it has come to your store? And the lady said, yes, it has been printed. So I was like, okay, that rocked. So yeah, that was my first kind of big thing that like as a program. That but I've written it in Java. This one, yeah, that was the first. Yeah, it was quite
And your
funny to know
first
that.
love touch with front end, when was it?
The first, I mean, during that time I started working, but it was more .NET. So I started learning about JavaScript and
Mm-hmm.
about CSS and all that. So at the same time, because you know, many people they don't know now that years ago there were people that were doing the whole full stack. The JavaScript was only
Mm-hmm.
a small portion of the work. So the when you were doing .NET or Java, those kind of JSP times, you were a full stack developer. There was no front end. So the part of the work was a lot of front end, but it was part of a bigger job that it was more full stack. So you have to maintain databases. And eventually, we all moved to do front end. But yeah, I mean, the front end I think started when you had you start dealing more with jQuery and you start making websites and stuff like that. So then it was those years were quite fun because you're discovering a different world. I think I would say front end it will be when frameworks start getting into shape and JavaScript was like able to handle a lot of stuff on its own. So that's when we start figuring out how Angular works and what it can do without having to work with the freaky, old systems with. So Angular was just a system on its own, not a language anymore. I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
The- Which, because you do CityJS, it's JavaScript, right? But do you have a favorite? Do you have like a framework that you like more than the other?
No, I don't. I don't. Everything has its own beauty, let's say, and I have gone through. I think a number of them. Like I've done a Backbone, I've done a Knockout, I've done Angular, then moved to React. I've done Vue. Pretty much, I haven't done so much. What's called? Sorry, getting stuck.
Signal?
Signals or what's the like Rich Harris one? What's it called? 1 second, I'll
Solid?
tell you. Or not solid, Svelte. But I
Svelte?
have seen it,
Yeah.
but I've tried it a little bit. So, but pretty much the core ones, Angular, React, Vue, I've tried them all. Everything has its own beauty, and the way they work. But it's like programming. You can write code in so many different ways to just solve the same problem, and everyone can bring their own solution. There's no right or wrong. It's just that what is the how you can solve something with less code, how it's well maintained. The I like Vue because it's open source and there's no company behind. It's just Evan you and the people on that team. But I like React because it's very solid. It's easy to learn and there is a lot of. In the same Vue, it's quite easy as well. So it's hard it's hard to know which one is the best. There's no answer
Mm-hmm.
because there's no answer to give who writes the best code. Is it clean? Yes, it is. Does it work? Yes, it works. Then it's very hard to really. Is it fast?
But
Yeah, they're all.
if you had to start a new project, let's say a pet project, NBA fantasy project, which framework would you choose for your front end and which for your back end?
I mean, because I had more experience, my work it was have been more React. I would say that React. I have more experience with React now than I have with Vue. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I would probably use what I have, what I
Mm-hmm.
feel the best, have the best experience. But yeah, but sometimes I'm choosing based on the fact that, okay, I haven't tried this, so let me try something
That's also true.
different. So I could say that I haven't tried Svelte and I want to try Svelte. So let me try to use Svelte now just to see how it looks, and then compare. Yeah, but there's no, because JavaScript, it's not anymore a language. It's like a big ecosystem that has a CI, it's backend. You can build applications for mobile phones, and this is where it becomes like an issue with a conference. You can have a conference that is just React, and it's easy because it's just React. But when you do a conference and it's JavaScript, you have so many things to choose from, and you don't want to leave things behind. So you have to make everyone happy from, because JavaScript is huge now. It's not a small kind of thing. So
It is
it's hard.
biggest in the world. We made it.
Yes,
What
exactly.
I was gonna ask, what was your first meetup that you attended? Do you remember, or the one that you remember as an attendee?
So I'll tell you what happened. When I was so I was used to work for British Telecom. Before that, I was not
Mhm.
attending meetups because I think like all the cool people are going, and you know, I'm not ready for that. So I have this
Okay.
misconception, like, sort of. And there was this kind of thing with my colleagues that we want to go out in after work, because the people in I was working with, it was a very good crowd. So the idea is that, okay, we're gonna go for beers, but okay, let's go to the meetup. We have beers, we have pizza, and we learn something. So I start following
Mhm.
the crowd, just going to that. So the meetup that I'm organizing in London, it's called JS Monthly, and we do it every month. So that was like the first meetup I attended, and there was we can I mean I can be talking for ages. And then I took over a bit after the guy who was organizing it, who his name is also Guy. So I cannot. There's no problem with the code of contact because I don't have to say folk, because the guy's name is Guy, so I can talk for guys for hours and hours. So yeah, I took over from a guy. That was the meetup.
From one guy,
Yes,
and it was about JavaScript. What
yeah.
What do you recommend people who don't go to meetups? Why should they go to meetups? What is the main thing besides the pizza? Because I like pizza, I go for the pizza.
Um, I mean, it's the people, because I see a lot of people like, oh, I'm looking for a job. I wanna, I just received a message from an old colleague the other day. He said, oh, I was made redundant. Okay, come to the meetup. Sorry, that day is my birthday. Okay, come and we will celebrate together. Come and join the people. If you have a problem, discuss it with other people. It's not about the talks, but you can learn something, definitely. But it's about, this kind of, okay, I have this problem. How do I solve it? Or I want to find a job. I want to find what other people think and how my thinking it could be wrong. And after speaking with a few people, I can be a better me. Um, but it's about coming close with a community and creating new friends that have their common interests. That's what a meetup is in essence. And yeah, I mean that's
I
what I
love
would
it.
say. Like, why, okay, stay home and watch webinars, but then after it's finished, you don't have the ability to talk to anyone. It's just a wall. Yeah, and it has been difficult
And
years with
I
COVID.
found that's
You
true.
found what?
I'm also a meetup organizer. I
I
host
know.
React JS Barcelona here, And I also took it out from a guy because of, in COVID, it was very hard for them and they disbanded and I took over afterwards. So I organized 6 meetups so far and I'm really, really happy about doing this. One thing that I found is that usually people come for the topics. So if I have like a topic about design system, other people will show up. So I'm trying every month to find topics that are unique. So I bring more and more people,
I think also another thing is that a meetup and a conference, and sometimes I give opportunities to people to show me the skills in terms of like, okay, you want to be a speaker in a conference, but you don't have any experience, and it might be hard to get invited in a conference. So a meetup it's a way you can start, you can practice, even if you have like a brand new talk. You can do it in front of like a small audience and see how it went, and then you can change it. So when you go to a conference, you can practice better, and then be much more ready. So I would say that it's I can pick even people that they wouldn't be given a chance in a conference and say, okay, here you go, come and blow it. Come and do whatever you want because it's a meetup. And if you are feeling scared, let's do like a lightning talk. If you want to talk, come and talk for half an hour. But give people a voice, make them heard, and but feel like everyone has the possibility of doing a talk. And yeah, I mean, I totally agree. It's about the topics because if the topic is not good enough, people they won't come. But then it's about giving the chance to people to and a lot of people they tell me, oh, you didn't pick me, and it wasn't me, but my talk was not selected. Yeah, but I give you a possibility now to talk to the meetup. So maybe if people hear you, maybe you get like a bonus card to say, okay, come and talk to the conference now. And we do organize meetups before the conference for that kind of reason. So more people are heard. So you have the main event where people are paying, but for the rest of the community, they can hear talks that they didn't pay for it. So yeah, this is the another
The,
idea that yeah.
I
So
really like when you do this. That I think it's very unique that when you organize conferences that you host the meetups one day before and you bring speakers. I find it very inspiring.
yeah, I mean
So
it's a way of
huge congrats
saying
on that.
okay, because there are companies. This is what frustrates me the most. A company that has good development experience, it means that they also have a budget for people to learn new things. And conferences are doing that kind of thing. They provide training to people. You might hear 10 things in a conference. You're going to go and do them at work. You're going to be a new person. Like I just now came out of a webinar from Figma. I just saw some things that will help me in my work. But during a whole day in a conference, you will do that. But there are still companies that they don't want to pay. They think, okay, I will rather do a workshop and people will go to the workshop and I will pay. They will come and do the work after. But so in that case, what we do, because it's not about the money, it's about the community, and CityJS is a community conference. We organize the meetup. So also one thing is, let's say you come from Barcelona to London. You don't have anything to do that day. You're just on your own. You manage to get money from your company to attend the conference in London or in Athens. But you're there on your own. You don't know anyone. So the conference can create some events before the conference so you can meet other people and hang out while you are waiting to go to the conference. This is the whole idea. So
Love
you
it.
can, then
That's
you're
a really
creating
cool
better
idea.
bonds because, oh, I met this guy, he lives in Denmark. And actually, this guy, we are now best friends. We have been meeting in other conferences because, and I've seen people that they came to Athens and then they went to Alicante, or people
Mhm.
that I met in Verona, and they have also come to Athens. So this kind of people, it's the same people like you told me with the design systems. They do this kind of conference traveling where you say, okay, I want to go and see Italy. Okay, I'm gonna go and see
Mhm.
all the places and stuff. But why not combining it with attending a conference? So people are exchanging seat. When they come here, they can meet the local community and people that they're not coming to the conference, you know. And the same thing goes for sponsors. They get the ability to see people that they won't be in the conference. So you are they get a better um, return of investment for the money they sponsor to the conference from meeting the local community, meeting the people in the conference, because it's not going to be the same people. Some people, they went to the meetup, they won't go to the conference, and vice versa. They won't go to the meetup and they will go to the conference. So it's a win-win for everyone. This is the whole idea.
Nice. From meetup organizer to meetup organizer, I know one of my problems is that, I put the meetup, I have 130 more people on the wait list, and only 40 people show up. Tell me, how can I do it to make sure more people show up? What can I do better? Well, what am I doing wrong?
The thing is that you don't do anything wrong because it's the rule of 30%. The rule of 30% is that when you have like 100 people, 30% of these people, they won't come because
Mhm.
they, but this is a standard rule. So that's why I buy enough pizza, but I am also don't buy too much because I don't want to going around London and try to find like homeless people to give the pizza. Also, it's a
I
bit of
always
a,
order
yeah,
pizza in the meetups. So I,
during
I
the
count
day.
the number of people and then during the meetup.
We have so from my company here in London, from Pizza Hut, we have a special discount of 50% that we get at every meetup.
Ooh.
So that brings the value down, but our budget is very tight. So every month we have a different sponsor, and sometimes what we do, we have a sponsor um, for meetups for the venue and a different sponsor for the food and the drinks. So we keep on changing. And sometimes you might get a company that they will do both the food and the drinks and the venue. But sometimes we have to invent ways of getting money for that. But yeah, you cannot do anything. Like last month, I was expecting 100 people, 120 people like you, and I only got 50. But it started
Mhm.
raining, you know, so the weather started changing on the time.
Okay.
Another thing is that on the meeting, on the invite, we had a 6:30, 6 o'clock start. The thing is, if I was at work and I have to solve a bug and I was ready to go, and I saw that the time that I meet up, the doors open, it's at 6 o'clock, but the talks start at 6:30. Maybe you push the time a bit later because people will know, okay, I don't have to be there from 6. It's okay for me to be at 6:30. It gives a big, because my company office is in East London. So if somebody works in the West London, it might take 40, 50 minutes to come there. So they might not come because they didn't understood how far it is. Also, another thing to tell you is that most of the people that they're still not going to the office, they go on Thursdays at the office because they want to go after work for drinks and then have the 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to be at home. So most of the
Okay,
people
that's
choose
cool.
Thursday.
I host on Tuesdays. Maybe I'll change it to Thursday now.
Change
That
it to
sounds a good
Thursday.
idea.
Do some A/B testing.
Yeah, that's true. I should do some A/B testing. One more thing is, how are you finding the sponsors for the drinks and food? Do you reach out yourself, or do they reach out to you?
It used to be so easy in the past. It used to be so easy to get a sponsor. Now it's a bit harder. I do have some that they are standard, okay? I do have some of them that they are pretty standard, that I know that I will contact. But when I started, I didn't have anything because when guy left, I didn't have a clue how to find. So I have to ask everyone. And when the thing is, when you start doing one and another, you get hurt. Everybody knows you, and then people start coming and asking you to sponsor you. That's how it started. But then those days, we were able to say that, okay, if you want me to do a meetup, I want to do a meetup, and I want to book with you for the next 3 months. Those days, like before pandemic, because most of the companies that were looking for people, and the market was much better for hiring developers. Now the market has gone a bit down, I believe, and not everybody's hiring developers. But the thing with JavaScript is it's not hiring developers only. You're looking on two different streams of sponsors. You're looking for sponsors that do products and people that hire people. But at the same time, there are companies that they sponsor for branding and for helping out the community. So this is how I see it. So sometimes there might be companies that they want to promote their product. So we are adding a talk from their end, but we try not to make it too long. So nobody. What we did last 1 month ago, do you know Honest Burgers?
Yes.
So I told the sponsor, I'm gonna say their name, Sentry. I told them, I want you to give me that money. The money is for pizza, drinks, but I also want £100 on burgers. So at the end of the meetup, we ran a competition and we give away 10 vouchers of burgers. We just ran some questions.
Okay.
And the people that answer the questions, we had the pizza, we had the drinks and everything, but people, they were leaving winning something. So I started doing this kind of thing where, okay, you come to the meetup and then you can go and have a nice burger after. That gives you a nice kind of feeling, that's
Nice.
but I know other people that do a meetup. Sorry, I will tell you this one, the last one, that what they do just to help you is that they go on LinkedIn and they contact directly engineering managers from companies, and this is how they get the sponsors. But those companies are recruiters. So this is all the information. Sorry. Yeah.
I'll try it out. Yeah. So far, I'm hosting my company, sponsoring. We have my company as the location. I'm trying different things to move a little bit, but yeah, let's see how it goes. But how did you go from meetup organizer to conference organizer? How did you
Okay.
make the jump? Where did CityJS start?
So what happened? I was doing the meetup, and I was going to the conference as well. And those days, also, at my work, there was a lot of competition. It was like Angular, React, then TypeScript, JavaScript. There were like so much competition going on, and I like. I also got the guys from my company to do a talk on comparing all the different frameworks in a talk, which was really good. It was more like a boy band, like take that, but it was more take those frameworks and compare them. So we all tried to compare all the different frameworks. And while I was going to conferences, I met Dylan Seaman, that he organizes Hubstack.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
and then I met Kyle Simpson. Kyle is very pro JavaScript. Dylan is very pro TypeScript. I want to bring them to my meetup to do a talk and compare the two, JavaScript and TypeScript. But Kyle, when he does that, he wants to, um, he has to travel from US. You need to cover his expenses. He has to do some training. So he said, like, okay, if you want me to come, we need to organize something bigger than that. And so I used to work at City University. So one day they asked me, okay, so what the name should be? Oh no. And then I thought, City University. Okay, CityJS. So that's how I got a name. I designed the logo in just a day, and I just took it from the web. I took a ready-made Bootstrap website. I just changed the colors and changed the design and just put it up. It was all in one day. And then I started selling the tickets because it was a collaboration between meetups. It was easy to start promoting it locally here. And the times, I think they were better because there were more people coming to the meetups and it was much easier. The community was a bit stronger. Like I feel like it's not as it used to be, but it's getting better. I've seen the numbers increasing now.
Nice. So it was CityJS when it was just one city.
It was CityJS London. And then what happened, the second year we did it in a cinema. It was amazing. And we went for the third year. And the third year, while I'm inside the venue, the pandemic it's starting and we have to cancel. So when we cancel, we had to keep, the people and the sponsorships. So we have to convert to a virtual event. And we start doing 2 days and 3 days of conferences. And then we start bringing people from around the world. Because it was a conference, it was only 20 people. But now we had like 20 speakers. Now we had a conference of 50, 60 speakers. But we didn't have to pay for their expenses. They were all joining from everywhere around the world. So there were people from Brazil, India. You had all different places of the world, and everybody liked the of coming together from all these different places. And so they were asking me to do a conference in their area. So the person asked me to do it in India. Another one asked me to do it in Brazil. We had a person in Singapore. So then I had like a strict budget for everything. But when I told them, okay, let's do it, but do it virtually in those kind of places, all these people that were asking me like, no, I don't want to do it virtually anymore. I want to do it in person. Yeah, but we don't have the money. Like we're not getting a lot of money from the sponsors. And so, okay, we managed to do it very cheap. I mean, it was nice because I was able to travel around the world, seeing new places and making new contacts. So yeah, but logistically it was huge. It was very big.
Nice. And what do you recommend people ask their company? How could they go to their boss, to their engineering manager and say, hey, I want to go to this conference? What are their main arguments for this?
So The thing is, and this is where, so it depends what the company is using. Who are you going to see? You have some companies will ask you to do a business case, which is like, okay, I want to go to this conference. Okay, why are you going to go to this conference? Just to meet some people? It's probably not. But for example, you are developing an application on Remix. So at this conference, you're going to meet can see dots. Okay. And you might have the ability to do a course with him, like a workshop. So you can combine listening, but there might be more than Remix. It might be, okay, we want to implement micro frontends, so we have module federation. So you might want to see Zach Jackson, that he created it. When something goes wrong, you could contact them, maybe, but I imagine me contacting them if I don't know them and I haven't seen them in person, then contacting them after I have seen them once and they know who I am and what do I look like. So the conferences break the barriers in terms of meeting people, but you might not go directly to them. I might meet my friend Dan, and when I have this kind of problem that scares me so much, I can ask him. So it's you also you might try to create a big system that another company is creating it. So you might find that something that you are gonna build and your company is gonna invest so much money that somebody has already built it. So you might get really good insights on what not to do. You remember those days with React Native and Airbnb? There are a lot of people that were thinking that it's not a good solution, but things have changed, right? So now you can see that React Native, it's doing much better. So you want to say, okay, I want to start creating a mobile app. What should I use? Is it safe now to use React Native? There's someone from Expo there. Maybe I can ask them. So you want to learn one or two things from that meeting. Like, it's not a workshop. A lot of the things you have to try yourself. But being there, asking some questions, maybe you do some pre-work, you try a few things, and then when you go there, you are ready to ask your questions. It's a very good thing. But yeah, MCPs. Now it's MCP kind of period. Find from those that develop it, what is it like? Find what's going on. What's about to happen. So this is what I'm saying. This is what conferences bring to you and to your company. And yeah, but they combine a lot of kind of things.
So I think you've organized a lot so far, a lot of conferences. Do you have a favorite speaker? I know it's me, but someone else maybe?
I was thinking about it, and that there have been a lot. There have been a lot of speakers. I mean, even your workshop in Athens, it went really well. It went better than when we put together, because that's a thing. Somebody makes an offer to come and talk. You take a hit. Let's say, okay, let's do this and see how it's gonna